Are you ready?
She posted tweet. Yes, you did.
To On the Block with Cameron and McCray.
Whoa! Oh, my transition is broken. How's it going, everybody? And welcome to On the Block with your co-host McCray, me, and your vice host Cameron Hurd. How's it going, Cameron?
I'm the vice host with the most, Cameron motherfucking Hurd. Tonight is the night that Swaggy C got evicted. I am so upset.
Yeah, your draft is really taking a beating. Wait, you had him, right?
Yeah, he was my second pick overall. Yeah.
But the thing about it is there's a lot of, I mean, I think everyone was kind of hype on him. I mean, I was excited to see him play for sure. And, like, he didn't disappoint, you know, so he's got that going for him.
He had Team TV all over him.
Yeah.
If we're going by DR count versus episodes, he's up there.
Yeah.
However, this is competitions, and Swaggy C didn't win any, really.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah, we'll get into it a little bit more. I wish we actually had that the diary room count. I know there's a person on Twitter that does the diary room counts, which is always very informational. I like those. But yeah, next time maybe we'll try to bring that up and have a little graphic that I can throw up there. So the first 8 minutes you said you missed. Hate to tell everyone, I guess, but I'm trying to think.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. I'm trying to think of exactly what the first 8 minutes was. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of like, Swaggy gets put on the block. He comes back and he's like,
that's true.
You know,
there's a lot of recaps.
Well, it was a little bit of recap, but it was also a lot of like his way of trying to get into people's heads and try to vote, get him voted for, I guess, whatever. But like, so he comes back from that and he's kind of just like, his diary room says, he's like, I'm not like broken right now. I'm in chess mode. Like, I'm really just trying to figure out the pieces and stuff like, and then it's like, that's like cool. I was like excited to watch that, and then like he starts working on people, he's like, who can we work on? Tyler, and everyone's like, no, dog, it's Tyler's the one that like set this all up. And like, everyone's kind of like, but like, I think, I can't remember who else he worked on, but I remember one of his best moments, or one of the best moments, I guess, was like him working with Sam, working on Sam. Did you end up seeing that part?
Yeah, I saw that part.
Okay, so yeah, like the first couple minutes was the recap, and then like him being like, I'm in chess mode, and then the next thing I feel like was maybe Sam. If we missed something, throw it up.
There was a part before that, but Sam, yeah, basically he's like opening up, telling him about his life and how he's moved 17 times in 8 years,
insane.
like 17 different schools. Yeah, I moved a lot.
Yeah.
I had like 6 or 7 different schools in 5 years, and I thought that was a lot, but his life story is literally insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy how he just took on this new persona, and it like definitely influenced not only like his surrounding life, but himself to become this character bigger than himself, that's larger than himself, that has made him the person he is today. It's just like mental fortitude that he's got, and I was in awe of his story.
Absolutely, I agree. Because man, it's got to be tough to like move, that many times, and like to me, that's almost like perfect training for the game of Big Brother. Where it's like to have to like just develop new friends that many times.
Yeah, you cut relationships like that. You're like, later, Gator.
See ya. Yep, exactly.
Never see him again.
Well, and then like it also like lends to him, making the Swaggy C persona. Like that makes it, or like, okay, well now I kind of get that, like because he didn't have like, you like it's so tough to figure out who you are in this world, especially when you're that young, and especially like when you're going through all those changes. I wish that would have been more highlighted in his intro package and stuff like that, because then it would have like everything would have made way more sense. And I don't. Yeah.
I actually appreciate that it wasn't. Like I feel like this was like a hidden gem, and we discovered this, and it just displays all these like things about him that like just are unraveling us to us now. And if we got like all of the food, all the berries right before they hatch or whatever the fuck I'm talking about.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, like I feel like because they withheld that information, I appreciated it more.
Yeah, I agree. Where it's like, yeah, it's a nice little present to unwrap here when he's about to leave. You're right. I definitely agree.
What about Sam like entertaining the possibility that she's going to use her extra life on Swaggy?
That was production.
You think so?
Like,
because
production's like, go on.
My sister, who is an avid feed watcher, was like talking to the feeds, or she said she watched Sam talking to the feeds and saying, maybe I should use my extra life on Sam.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Like, that was the thing that was going through her mind before production like got her to say that.
What's up, Don Don? That's interesting because I honestly, like, that was my first thought, was like, okay, well, production is trying to be like, well, let's give a misdirect to a degree, you know, like, let's try to like play this up, obviously. I'm disappointed that she didn't, to be honest, where I was like, fuck, this would have been crazy as hell. Like,
that would have been cool.
It would have been awesome. Yeah, exactly. And then it would have been like, everyone would have changed their opinion of Sam, you know, like, oh shit, she might be playing the game, you know, she's like, a hero without a home, you know, like, who is her country, you know, like, she doesn't have any teams, it feels like, you know, like, level 6 saved her, but at the same time, like, it'd be the perfect agent of chaos to just like, oh, well, you know, like, you saved me, but also, like, I'm here to play, baby. I would have loved that. I thought that was sweet.
It would have been a great TV moment. Probably not the best thing for her personal game, but we're not. I don't care about that right now.
Yeah. Well, she's on my draft, so I'm glad she didn't.
Yeah. So before Swaggy talked to Sam, though, she talked to Tyler and Caitlyn. And it was basically like, I don't know who's spreading misdirection about me, but basically I'm here for you. Like, I'm here to play for you. I'm not really. I lied about you a little bit, but you know, that's just part of the game. And like, Tyler is there, and he's the one spreading all this misdirection about Swaggy, and he's the one that got in Caitlyn's ear, and he's able to basically say, like, direct the conversation where he wants it to go, which I feel like is extremely fortunate for Tyler and very unfortunate for Swaggy, because I feel like Swaggy would have made more headway one-on-one against Caitlyn, because Caitlyn is a hot mess.
Yep. Just an absolute shit show. Yeah, she... you know, yeah, and I think... that's another thing that you didn't really see is, you know, she's up in her HOH room. She's just bawling. Thank you, H2O Kimmy. But she's bawling up there. You know, Bailey comes up there, and she's like, I can't look at you. Just, like, a lot of victim tears and stuff like that. As I think that's victim noises, as Cody would say. Like, she was doing a lot of that, which I think is a decent strategy, to be honest. But, yeah, she was just cut up about it all. I don't know, like, again, I just am not a fan of Caitlyn, and now all of Twitter has also turned against Caitlyn, which I think is really funny.
Wait, you're not a fan of Caitlyn?
No.
Oh, Caitlyn is the bomb.
Shut the fuck up. You're about to get hate. Caitlyn. You're about to get serious hate on Twitter if you say this.
I don't give a shit about Twitter hate.
No, but
come on, fight me with it. I think Caitlyn is, you know, standing up for what she believes in. She's empowering herself. Isn't that what this whole week of HOH is?
Yeah, she's
standing up to bullies. She wants to prove to herself that she can do this right now. This is all for her.
And if you don't like Caitlyn, you're supporting bully culture.
Yeah, McCray, the bully, the bully. It doesn't flow. It doesn't flow.
No. Yeah, no, Caitlyn.
No.
Is she on your draft
your
or
art
what?
Is definitely red. Like, I'm getting some bad juju out of you. Maybe we should go see a psychic and get your cards read.
Because I'm pure. Oh wait,
Your
that sounds
aura,
racist. That sounds
your
so
aura
racist.
is white because you're pasty as fuck.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Look at me. I'm fucking blending in with the goddamn light behind me.
Yep. No, I think Kalen. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I guess in this episode, it's just a lot of like swaggy. I think like the things that he says are like some of the things that they highlighted on this episode anyways were like, okay, these are actually decent arguments. But if you watch the live feeds, some of his campaign tactics were just like baffling to me, just utterly baffling. It was a lot of what he goes on to say when he stands up in front of everyone and is like, all right, here's my final campaign speech. You know, Julie gives him his time. And it's just like, I'm the best competitor here. Like, I'm really good at competing. You know, like me and my roommate have kind of gone back and forth on this. Where it's like, I can see how that could be construed as a decent game plan or decent like campaign.
Definitely, some people look at that and say, "Yeah, I want to keep you." Like if you're a Cody in the house, you look at people that want to compete, and it's like, "Oh, I want to go against who is there to play the game." But most people that are sane don't want to go against those people. If you come in winning the first two competitions, it tells me a couple things about you. One, you're a competition beast. Two, you play really hard. This is like you're going to become really aggressive and like come at people. And I'm not about that life. I want to go further in the game with people that I think are weaker than me and aren't going to be as desperate to win. And those are two things that Swaggy definitely portrayed throughout the beginning.
You're 100% right. That's exactly what my thoughts were, where it's just like, I mean, shit, when I was even in the game, it was pretty much like, let's get out every motherfucker I think that could beat me in anything. Like, fuck them. Like, I want to beat people, and I don't want to have to compete against people that are better than me at anything. So, like, I'm taking out every person that's got fucking muscles, even though it's not necessarily, muscle people win these comps necessarily. I just think it's where it's like, I think I can beat Spencer, you know, I think I can beat, you know, like, where it's just like, that's the people I want to compete against every time. So I definitely thought that was just an odd choice. I don't know. I thought like it was a bold strategy. It did not pay off. You know, it's one.
He was obviously advertising to the bros or something at that point. Like, you're not advertising to Bailey with that speech. You're not advertising to Haley, Bailey. It's just you're trying to get a vote from someone in particular at that point in time.
Well, agreed. And like his speech, he starts it off by like, or like towards like the middle of his speech, he's like, "Julie, don't cut me off because I'm about to drop bombs." The bomb
I was fine with that.
Well, no,
Did you not like that?
No, I love that. But then it was like the bombs are, yo, Swaggy C, I'm about to have a new fucking brand merchandising. Follow me on Instagram. And like he didn't literally say that, but literally that's whereas like. You're just fucking pimping yourself out, or you're like, that's not a fucking. You're not dropping any bombs. Where it's like, he should have been calling people out. I don't know if he had the information, like to drop these bombs. But I was just like, well, where's the bombs at? Please, like let's get it popping.
I didn't feel like he was really advertising himself. He did a lot of talking about you got to play for yourself in this game, and that's basically what I would have said. And I liked how he was like, Julie. I know this is a long speech, but I want the time.
Yeah.
And it's not like he went too over, like, it's not like he went minutes or anything.
No, and I agree. I think that, like, to be honest, I thought that was awesome. And I bet Julie, like, and I bet everyone in production was looking at their watch being like, all right, let's go. Like, come on, let's bring it, you know? But I just didn't think he brought it with that speech. And again, I'm a person that's like, I don't think any, like, when you eviction speech, it's never going to change anyone's minds. Everyone is decided by the time they get in there, or to that point, like everyone's just their minds are made up, you know. So I thought it was just like
100%. People's minds are made up once the veto has been played.
Yep. Exactly. And like of course there's opportunity to change people's minds and stuff like that, but like this last minute veto speeches and stuff like that, even if the veto speech is something that does drop a big bomb, like that's not necessarily going to change anyone's minds. Like that's something just for them to ruminate on. I don't know. It's always like one of those things where it's like, well, it's just too little too late at this point, you know.
So then Swaggy goes out the door and he starts throwing his merchandise at the audience.
I love that too. Love that.
You love that? I was like, dude,
It's
Swaggy, you gotta be a character. You can't be like, because I don't want to be seeing Swaggy C's t-shirts, Swaggy C anything. Like I saw on Reddit the other day, there was a baby with a Swaggy C thing. Like I was just like,
all right,
this is
that's
not
a little
good.
much. Yeah.
So I'm afraid that he's going to be like trying to sell this shit, like basically like Hamza did, and he was like Team Hummus shirts, and it's cool for like some people, but I don't want him to be going overboard because I can see him doing that.
I mean, do you still? I watch.
I've never worn my Team Hummus shirt. No.
Send it to me. I want that. No, I see Hamza on Twitter, and he's like. I guess it doesn't pay to be entertaining on this show. Everyone that's entertaining goes home first. It's like, like, no, I guess that's a good way to fucking phrase that in your head so you don't feel like an asshole. But like, I mean, you didn't play a good game, brother. Like, I'm sorry, dude. And like, same goes for Swaggy, where it's like, you fucking played way too hard, way too fast. Like, you're entertaining as hell. Like, I'll give you props for that all day. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, get your head out of your ass because you played like a fucking dipshit. I mean, this game isn't about fucking, like, you can be entertaining and play the game. Look at Dr. Will. Like, you know, I don't think, you know, Hamza even knows who Dr. Will is. But at the same time, like, that kind of stuff bothers me where it's like, this is to save your own ego, motherfucker. Like, it has nothing to do with, like, oh, you were so entertaining, that's why people got you out. Like, kiss my ass. Like, sorry, dude, you fucking suck at the game. Accept that. Just accept that. I accept that I suck at the game. Fuck it, you know? That stuff drives me nuts.
Entertaining doesn't mean good. Like, Devin was entertaining, and he was out right away.
Show. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just...
Yeah, I don't know. I hate that logic. I hate that logic jump of like, oh, the reason I got out because I was way too entertaining in the game. People liked me way too much. Like, no. Like, you're just a jackass. I'm sorry, you know? Like, yeah. But, yeah, so the
then...
votes, we'll talk about the votes, I guess, a little bit. What do you think of Scotty flipping the vote? Or, you know, like, Scotty didn't vote with them. Everyone else voted with them. But smartly, Scotty jumped ship. What do you think about that?
You like it?
I mean, I thought it was smart as hell. God damn.
How does that matter? It doesn't matter. Because from my understanding is he was the one that was like, hey, let's all wear Swaggy C-shirts.
That's the fucking kicker of it all. That's the funniest part, in my opinion. Where it's like, that's the shadiest fucking shit I've ever heard. Like, that motherfucker, like, played that shit up so hard and knew he was jumping ship. Like, he's definitely with Tyler. In my opinion. So? Yeah, because why else would he do that? He wanted to play both sides, and he did play both sides by being like, and we hear it from Swaggy's exit interview where he's like, oh yeah, Haley was the one that jumped ship, you know? Like, he was so in, like, oh yeah, everyone wear these shirts. Like, that's a fucking scoundrel move, and I salute that motherfucker, because that is awesome. What a dick. Scotty is the best.
I don't really find that like too...
Oh, I thought that was just amazing.
Big of a deal. I
thought that was amazing. Let's all wear Swaggy C shirts, because I know your ass is going home. I thought that was fucking funny. I thought it was so funny.
I don't know. I guess I just look at it differently. Because I just looked at it like, whatever.
I'm surprised that he got that many votes, because I know that Haley definitely knew kind of what was coming down the pike. You know, a lot of them, I think, kind of, you know, saw the writing on the wall.
I appreciate that, though, because it's like, why pretend to be on the other team's side? Like, they already know you're against them. Why even pretend to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to vote with you, like what Scotty basically did do.
I think Haley's a little bit more swing than even Scotty was, but I think he's kind of got hooked into Tyler's game plans. I mean,
what do you mean? Like, do you know something more than I don't know?
Well, I mean, just from like the feeds that I kind of saw, the updates that I've seen on Twitter and stuff like that, like I think that Haley had a little bit more, she had a little bit more like consciousness of like, okay, well, you know, this is like he's gonna go home. Like, there's no flip vote. They're like they don't have the numbers. It's like one of those things. It's like going down with the Titanic, you know, where it's like. I think, like, everyone hates to see a fucking house that all goes with the same way, but at the same time, like, the votes that go the opposite way when it comes to a vote like this, now, like, you guys are going to be picked off.
I can argue that going down with the Titanic is a good game move. And it's like, Dan went down with whoever was first out in DB10, Brian. Yeah, he was like the only vote to save him, and it's like then when you're alone, it's like, yeah, I'm alone. Why would you get me out? I don't have anybody, and it makes sense.
Honesty, it shows loyalty, it shows things like, and I think you're right. There's definitely a case to be made when it comes to something like that, and
like Scotty just looks a little bit more shady to me.
Oh yeah, he's the rat, and literally, like they called it from maybe like as soon as the feed started, like Scotty. I mean, I saw that on Twitter that Scotty's the rat, and I fucking like, man, he's making some sweet ass rat moves. I love it. But yeah, well, let's talk about his exit interview a little bit. Because the shadiest shit that I've ever seen on this show, next to Aaron Gree's fucking like. You're fucking a racist.
Oh,
like the shadiest shit by being like, oh yeah, and like let's check out your pre-interview where it's like no one's seen that interview footage, right?
No one.
Where I was just like, that's a dick move, big brother.
Yeah.
And to me, like I think that production knows something about Swaggy C that we don't know. You know, like I bet he goes like he must be the cockiest motherfucker in Diary Room because they wanted to knock that motherfucker down a couple pegs. Like, that's the only reason, in my opinion, they would ever show that shit.
I looked at that and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this should not be on the air at all because you're kind of on like a different persona while you're doing casting, like than in reality.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's completely different. Absolutely.
Yeah, and like I don't feel like he should be judged for his casting video, like when he's in front of like 10 producers and how he acts then versus how he acted in the house. Because I know I and probably you and probably everybody that was ever on Big Brother acted completely different, either douchier, like or like more entertaining,
exactly,
like more on than you actually were in the house, unless your name's Jose, because that guy's a freak.
No, you're 100% right. Yeah, like the person that you get cast, the person you get cast as is different than the person that like when you walk into that house. Like it's like once you get into the house, it doesn't matter who you were before during casting, because you're there. They're not gonna pull you out because you weren't the fucking pizza guy. Like you're fucking you're sold at that point. So it's like who gives a shit. But yeah, that's why like that's smacked of just like what the fuck is going on. Like maybe he's like a diva in Diary Room or something, but it was just like, man, production doesn't like this guy, I feel like. Or I think production might have been trying to save themselves from the internet backlash that's sure to come out of this. That's the only guesses I have, I guess, about it. But that was fucked up. I felt like that was a real fucked up thing.
That was fucked up. I wasn't a real big fan of it. No. And I thought it was kind of cool just to see like some of the inside of baseball, like, inside Big Brother.
Yep.
Like I remember being in that spot and saying certain things. So it was cool in that respect and seeing how he got cast, but like other than that scene was basically useless.
It was a dick move on Big Brother's part, but man, it was so fucking juicy to watch, man. Oh, I love that.
I liked how he wasn't really even looking at the goodbye messages. He was just looking down.
That's
He
good
didn't-
call. That's a good call because like I had something to say about that. Where if anyone here watched the Ica interviews, Ica like mentions, you know, say you get backdoored or whatever, you're in jury. Will you be a bitter jury member? You know, and he's pretty much like, well, if they, you know, they did it to me, like I can't be bitter, but if they do it in a shitty way, then I will be bitter. And then like his first thing when he gets voted out, where he's like, man, fuck Tyler, like I'm never gonna fucking, I'll never talk to him. I'll never talk to him again. Where I was like, you fucking like that bothers me. Where it's like, get the fuck over yourself. Like obviously your ego hasn't been hurt enough, so like. Just fucking, like, to me, I'm glad, as soon as I heard that, I'm glad Big Brother pulled the shit that they did, because that fucking bothered me. I cannot stand it when it's just like, I'm gonna fucking cry about it. Ugh. Like, I wish I had an ego that big. I wish I did, because I wouldn't be such a self-loathing,
well, you're like shit. Delusional at that point.
It's a delusion. It is delusion. And it's like, it's another interview where he sat there and was like, oh, I'm not going to be a bitter jury member. And then literally, like, he says that he would be a bitter jury member. And the thing about it is, like, good on Tyler for getting him out and pushing Caitlyn to get him out, because that's jury management. Jury management number 1. Get out any bitter motherfuckers that are gonna be crybaby motherfuckers. See ya.
Yeah.
See ya later, because you don't have any respect for this game. Fuck out of here, man. I can't stand that shit. Like
you don't want him poisoning the
jury pool. Exactly. This is great jury management from Tyler, because this is pretty much his plan in action the whole entire time, in my opinion. I don't know. That drove me nuts. Anytime I hate that crybaby shit. I hate it.
I think that we have a good understanding that Swaggy's not going in sequester because Julie said that Haley voted to keep him.
Yep. Absolutely.
And he wouldn't know. Julie wouldn't spill those beans.
Yep.
Yeah. If he was going in sequester. So,
but on top of that, I mean, shit. Have you seen any? You're right, for sure. But has Steve hit Twitter yet?
I sent out a tweet recently asking, "Where is Steve?" And people just sent me his Twitter handle, and then someone was like, "His family's running the account," and then the Steve Twitter handle like that. So I don't know what's going on.
I think, we should hit him up. We'll see if we can get him on the show.
Yeah, I would love to have Steve on the show. I would love to have him and Chris, so that way I could be like, you were the worst draft picks ever. but no, like, obviously.
He's going to call up a friend in Chicago, like, man, get this Cameron guy, fucking, get the police going, fuck this guy, yeah. Fucking bring him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they were, I want them to be on the show. I don't know if they're in sequester or still in sequester, but I can't imagine Julie doing that.
Yep, exactly. No, I want to have Swaggy on the show for sure. I want to have Steve on the show for sure. Yeah, I don't know why, but like that stuff bothers me. Let's see what else happens in this episode after he has his little interview with Julie.
Nothing. It goes right into the HOH.
HOH comp. What did you think of this competition?
I love these competitions because I can actually go against the house guests and see how well I would have done.
Absolutely. How would you have done?
Fun fact, I wouldn't have been HOH. I would have lost.
Fun fact, I would have. And I'm not saying that just for...
You would have won?
Yeah. I fucking... I think I pretty much I was doing like the TV party app and I was like talking through it the whole time. But I mean I think I would have gotten most of the questions right. And
then you need all the questions right.
Well, yeah, I know. I didn't give any cold hard things, I guess, but like my guess on the tiebreaker would have been the closest.
What was your guess? Because I also made a guess.
My guess was 617.
You would have beat me. I guess 800 or something.
Oh, that's pretty close though. That's like, but my whole thing is that like when it comes down to like these competitions are like the tiebreakers that are about seconds in this competitions, like that's literally where I lost the goddamn game. So I've become a lot more aware of how many seconds go into a minute and how many minutes go into a fucking, like I've literally practiced that now, which is fucking insanity. But yeah, so but you're still your guess was still just as close as mine, essentially. I mean, it was like 400, but
I would have beat Gotti, but I wouldn't have made it there because I guessed true or false on something. Yeah.
Well, what did you think of like the tape package that they had?
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
That they had that, but it really doesn't like. I don't know.
I thought it was funnier than hell. I thought it was like I was like.
You were laughing at it because I was literally like,
weird.
Motherfuckers, I'm gonna study this like I'm actually in the goddamn competition right now.
Well, and like
I made it through the first round, and then the second round
that one was a little bit tougher. I think yeah, and like I thought the second round they would have did a little bit more of like past house guest references. They mentioned like it's a pawn tracker, or like it'll tell you if you're on the pawn and when it changes or whatever. And I was like, okay, fuck yeah, like here comes a Spencer cameo, baby. And then nothing. I was like, God damn it! But no, I thought it was really funny. I'm glad they like got some actor. I'm curious to know who that actor was. I'd love to have him on the show. Fuck it, like just talk to that motherfucker. I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was like a cool little segment that they haven't really done. Again, like we've talked about the editing this season. I honestly think they just hired whoever the fuck was doing the editing for Big Brother Canada. They're like, well, we're just going to fucking take you and you're ours now. Because I think the editing has been on point this season. Very, very good in my opinion.
The production value in total this season has been like way better than usual, in my opinion.
I agree. For sure. Pour another drink.
So Scotty wins, and I would really wanted Rachel to win over Scotty, but whatever.
Are you pulling for seasons or what? I keep on wanting to call him
level 6.
Yeah, I want to keep on calling him seasick, like season.
I am pulling for level 6 because I just think I would agree with what.
Nothing. Go on.
I just think I would actually gel with them in real life compared to Fate. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not really feeling Fate that much. Like, if I knew them in real life, it wouldn't change anything. Like, I feel like if I was in that house, I would somehow I would be the KC in that level 6 alliance. That person you're like, why are they in it?
Yeah, they seem like they're the odd man out, odd woman out.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, that would definitely be me. And you'd be like, why the hell is Cameron in this alliance? But I don't know. I just seem to gel with like those people, and I think they would be cool.
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for them.
And that's I kind of agree, sadly. I do like.
You agree? You're like the biggest oddball of them out. You're like Fate 100%.
No, I think that Fate is like they were conceived on like just bad notions. Like the reason they got together was just I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Fate is bad. I don't know. Like I think I'd probably end up getting along with Angie Rockstar as much shit as I talked about her. I'd probably get along with like Swaggy and Fessy. I mean, but the problem is that it's just like.
But Craig, I have a bad feeling if we were both cast on the season,
we might be bitter enemies. We might be bitter enemies.
Because you'd be Fate and I'd be level 6, and I'd be like, that McCray motherfucker can suck my goddamn motherfucking dick. I would be saying so much shit about you.
Well, okay, so the thing about Afaute is they remind me so much of the moving company, where it's like, okay, like, this is a decent idea for a squad, but, like, the members of this squad are fucking loose cannons that don't know the game, so it's like, why the fuck would I hang out with them? Like, Tyler is obviously the one that's holding level 6 together, essentially, and he's the one that's making all the moves. He's the mastermind. And if he would have went to the other side, like, that side would be stronger, that side would be well put together, better than the other side, and they'd be crushing right now. It's pretty much like wherever Tyler goes at this point, and I don't want to give him too much credit, but I do think he's been playing a fucking fantastic game.
Well, Tyler, if there's anyone to give credit to, Tyler, because he's like the captain of the ship.
Yep.
If he didn't convince Caitlyn to flip last week, Sam would be out, or maybe, and then Caitlyn would have nominated probably Winston and Rachel or something ridiculous like that, and one of them would have been gone. So if you want to give him any credit, you got to give him all the credit, because he is definitely guiding the game at this point.
Yep, he's setting the pace for everything right now, and and that's why I'm obviously a big fan of his, and I think that's what it is, where it's like he gets to decide which side he wants to go on. That's the side that's going to be more successful, because that side has better tactics. I don't think that Winston's fucking making these calls and like, oh yeah, this is what we should do. We should backdoor, we know that that's not the case. Backdooring Swaggy's like the best move. I mean, seriously, everyone wants to get pissed off about it, but at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it is the best move, because he came in and won the first 2 competitions.
I mean, he's only talked about how good of a competitor he is. I mean, that's literally Tyler's only competition at that point, I guess. Tyler's won just as much stuff at that point. I don't know.
Yeah, so you gotta just be like, hey, let's just not nominate him and nominate him later, because backdoors are really valuable early on, like the first couple weeks, but around week 6 or 7, it's basically useless, because everybody is playing the veto.
Exactly. It's 100% true. One thing I wanted to touch on was, what did you think of Brett's outfit tonight?
I didn't notice it
It was
at
so
all.
amazing. He was wearing I'm pretty sure it may have been a Canadian tuxedo. He had the jean jacket. He had jeans on. The jean jacket was pulled open. He was wearing sunglasses during the eviction, and he had a shaved fucking handlebar shitty mustache. Literally, I was like, this guy, he doesn't get enough credit. I fucking hate the bros, but you should have seen it, Sivo. But Brett Winston sucks ass, but fucking Brett, I think, is so funny. That he's hilarious. He may be the douchiest motherfucker, but that dude brings comedy, makes me laugh every damn time. He's always, and just like that costume, good on him. Good on him for trying to fucking be wild as fuck. I love that.
Brett does seem very funny, and I can understand why is in love with him, because he's a funny dude. I like finding highlights where he's just pulling pranks on the other people.
He's a fucking total dude, bruh. But that's the thing where it's this dude's trying to keep it light. No matter what it is, he's trying to keep it very light. Even that costume. Again, I don't think I've ever seen anyone wear sunglasses on fucking eviction night. That's insane. That's preposterous. What a fucking crazy person.
I literally don't remember it all, but I'm gonna take your word for it.
My God, it was funny. I loved it so much. I'm trying to think of where else we go from here. What about?
Who do you think Scotty's going to nominate moving forward?
Okay, so I'm kind of tied into my idea that I think Scotty actually is with Tyler. I think, from the live feed standpoint, Scotty and Tyler have talked a lot, and Scotty does seem loyal to Tyler. But again, Scotty's the rat, so who knows? I almost like I'm curious to know like why even Scotty wanted to win this motherfucker. He was never gonna be the next targeted, you know, like he might
You
have
don't
been
know that though. When
well, he might
you're
have been the Pawn Star, rated X or you know, the AJ.
you're the only person that thinks that's a good strategy.
Well, and like I don't think it would have been that great of a strategy for Scotty, especially at this point in the game. I think it's too easy to get caught up in a flip of the house. So I think that like the pawn game has to come out, you know, middle game, like edging into the middle game. I think it's just
Yeah.
it's dangerous at this point because there's so many quick flips. There's so many moving parts in the game that you know that it's likely to bite you in the ass. But like once like the game kind of settles out, you know, gets ironed out, I think it's a better strategy. But I think yeah, you're right. It wouldn't have been a great thing for him. And that would have been the problem is if he didn't win this, he probably would have just been the Pawn Star. Like he would have just been on the block all the time, which wouldn't be a bad place for him. But again, the flips are made in these early weeks. But who do I think he's gonna put up? I'd like to see him put up Caitlyn. Just put up Caitlyn and put up, you know, Casey maybe, and then
KC.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think she's like a decent. She's a decent competitor, but at the same time, like, you know, put those two up. See what happens with the veto. You can always put up a big dog when it comes to it. Fessy, you know, maybe a backdoor for Fessy. I don't know.
I don't think they're. I feel like any
what are your
backdoor
thoughts?
plan that comes out of Tyler's mind is going to fail.
From here on out?
Yeah, and he's not going to backdoor Fessy. He's Fate all the way. It's not going to happen.
Fate all the way.
Yeah. Like, I feel like he's going to nominate Winston and Brett because he's insecure or something like that.
I mean,
Like,
I can see that.
yeah, if he wants any chance of his alliance moving forward as a unit, he's got to nominate people from the other side, rally his troops, get the floaters on his side. Like, that's what he's got to do.
Does his vote tonight influence what he does? Or, like, is this an indication of what his next game plans are?
No, his vote tonight is like a safety net for the future. If somebody on the other side won, he could say, yeah, I voted with you guys. I'm on your side. Wink, wink. Like, let's fucking roll.
Well, he had
but
Spidey fucking convinced, you know?
I don't feel like it's an indication that he's gonna like go against the Fate Alliance. I feel like it's him indicating that he is now trying to save his own ass in the event that someone like Angela or Rachel wins HOH that he's covered.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm curious just because like he's playing a delicate game right now, especially with winning HOH this early. You know, like you kind of have to like draw some sort of lines in the sand. I just don't know where his sides are gonna be. I hope he just like pulls some sort of weird gimmick that's just like everyone fucking come up here and then I've got a number. If you're you know closest to the number, you're going up on the block. Like, I want to see some gameplay like that. I want to see that. Like, just RNGs. Well, that's what we would call them, too. He'd be RNGs. I would want to see that. Just random number generator, fucking, let's see what happens. I don't know. I'm curious. I have no fucking clue where his head is at. Again, we'll see. I don't know. I couldn't have a fucking guess. Again, when the rat gets power, you know, like he's gonna just nibble at the cheese. Does that mean anything? I don't know. It feels like that's might be prophetic, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
Cameron, what else do you want to talk about? I think we've covered it.
We've covered it all. If you want to follow Instagram, follow me at Cameron Hurd.
You just broke up. If you want to follow you on Instagram?
Twitter or Instagram, follow me at Cameron Hurd 210.
Excellent. And if you are in Canada or you just like
Hey, thanks,
Dean
Drunk Ass.
Lit. Oh, Drunk Ass is the best. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Drunk Ass. We're so close to we need 60 sub points to get a new emote. I don't know what that new emote's gonna be, but we are very, very close. So keep those subs.
Emotes.
Yep, get them subs coming. But
I feel like we should tell the people that if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know you have this fancy